Wes, what allowed them to pull away there at the end of the second and going into the second half?
Obviously the threes. I think that was, throughout the whole game, they made 23 of them. And it's really hard to sit here and say, take those guys off the three-point line when you have to dedicate so much attention and get 2 and 3 bodies in front of Giannis. He's going to get downhill and live in your paint. So it's, very difficult to do. But it's tough when those bigs are spread, and 9 of their 23 are coming from their centers. So usually it's guards, it's smalls, a little unconventional for your bigs to have to be kind of in a shrink spot and then firing out to the three-point line. But that's just the way they play, and it's obviously a strength of theirs.
What do you think about the way Jay Huff played?
I thought he was good. I thought he did a lot of good things. He was aggressive offensively, looking for his shot. He was active, and I know it's a tough out when you're trying to switch and guard Giannis at times. That's a tough introductory into the NBA. He's guarding former MVP, but he did a lot of good things. It was good effort, and I thought he tried to play the right way.
Wes, what did you think of Johnny's defense today?
It was solid. It was pretty good disposition on the ball. At times, size deficit in our switching. I thought he was able to get into certain cutters and body them pretty well. He's been really good with the game plan discipline and trying to impose his will a little bit physically, which I really like.
Coach, 36 minutes for Johnny, 20 points. Can you pinpoint when you exactly saw this dog mentality shift for him?
I don't know like an exact game or it was a G League game, and it was probably a compilation of a couple of games. I started watching clips. He started to string some games together. Mm-hmm. And, whether he made the shots or not, just the level of aggression, the level of confidence you saw him play with, it was just a different player than what we saw earlier in the year.
I've been asking you all year, but your Jay Huffs, your Jordan Goodwins, Quentin Jackson, Johnny Davis, even Xavier Cooks, it's just you can't really duck the work. You put that work in. How good is it as a coach to see that, these guys have really been putting in when they have a night like this?
I mean, it's rewarding on some level. Obviously, you don't get the payoff. Mm-hmm. You're playing a really good team, best team in the East right now. But it's a good challenge for those guys. And the fact that they could meet that challenge. On most nights, you score 128 points and you shoot 50 from the field, you feel pretty good about it, Being able to get into the paint and score 70-plus, that usually is going to tip in your favor. So in light of that, you feel pretty confident, feel pretty good with, what those guys are able to do out there.
Appreciate you.
Thoughts on, what does Isaiah Todd need to do to crack the rotation these last few games?
Oh, I mean, he's going to get some minutes. I think, finishing the season with the go-go, and, we had these other guys in play. He's just joining us and had, a light practice yesterday. So he will definitely see some minutes, over the next handful of games.
Jay, first off, I think I asked you before, but you belong here. How did it feel to have that night you did tonight?
It felt awesome. I mean, obviously it felt good to see a few threes go down. That might have been the most threes I've taken in a professional game, actually. That was fun. Coach was drawing up a couple plays for me, so I appreciate him for that. And it was just great being out there against, obviously, one of the best teams in the NBA, if not the best. I don't know what the records are, but.
Congratulations on winning G League Defensive Player of the Year. Just what did that award mean to you?
I mean, it meant a lot. I owe, most of it. I wanted to be able to cut it into thirds or fourths just because I got some teammates that I owe most of that to. We used to have a system, especially in South Bay, where if anybody got past 𝗦𝗢𝗖𝗓 or Shaq Harrison, 2 of the best defenders I've ever played with, then I would clean everything else up. So if I could, I would cut it up, but it's kind of glass. So.
And last one for you, the fans are really taking to that Mr. Fantastic name, knowing you're a mobile guy. What does that kind of say about you?
It's awesome. I'm a big fan, actually. That ties in well with the shoes that I wore today. They're very Marvel nerd. My wife paints these, so this was the pair she did for me one time. But no, I'm a big fan of that nickname. It's going on a list, an ever-growing list of nicknames, which I'm happy about.
Appreciate you.
Jay, when the video of you actually getting the award came out, we saw Gaff kind of in the corner going crazy for you. What is it like, the connection with the other bigs, with Gaff on this team, and just having been around for as long as you have?
It's a lot of fun. He's a guy that I've grown to respect a lot. Played with him last year in the preseason and gotten to learn a lot from him. he's dunked on me a few times, which I've decided to let go. Yeah, I try. But no, it's great, and same with Taj and the rest of the guys. They were all really happy for me. That was really fun.
And to get to kind of come back to a team like this,
Mhm.
clearly wants you kind of in the system and having you around, what kind of opportunity is that? Is it different from just kind of getting to go somewhere once and show what you can be, just knowing that Tommy wants to bring you back?
A little bit, largely just due to the fact that there's a lot of familiarity. I know the area decently well, and the organization, the coaches, a lot of the players are still here. So it's really nice to be back in a familiar setting, closer to home. Obviously, having friends and family nearby is awesome. And it's been great having them at a lot of games.
KP was talking to you at one of the timeouts. I guess what is that, mentorship or advice kind of from him?
It's awesome. I mean, he's been a guy that I watched a lot when I was younger, being another tall guy that can shoot. Obviously at a much higher level than me, but still like a guy that I tried to learn from. It was funny, at that timeout there were like 4 different people telling me a couple of different things. I was like trying to listen at the same time. But no, I mean, them actually caring about the game says a lot, because I know it's hard to focus too much on the game when you're not playing. And so it's great to have those guys there to like try to point out things to me and teach me things.
Can you start with the dunk?
Yeah, Jrue Holiday is a great defender, but in transition like that, when he keeps backing up like that, I just got to eat up that space and go to the rim and finish.
We haven't really seen that from you, at least on this level. Like, how nice was it to kind of show that?
It was really nice. I don't think anybody expected that. I mean, I didn't even expect it a little bit, but I kind of just thinking in my head, like, just go up strong. He's either going to foul you or you're either going to finish it.
Was it nice to finally get to play actually against the Bucks? I think you had to stay home on their trip and then.
Yeah, I did. I had a hip injury in one of the go-go games, so I would have rather been playing them there back in my home state, but it was nice to be able to get that experience playing against a championship-level team.
You had a couple of defensive moments against Giannis. Effort was definitely there. I think at half court you stumbled at one point, but you got up and laughed. Can you talk about what it's like defending him, especially as a rookie?
Yeah, he's just so tall and quick and fast. It's hard to stay in front of him. But the only thing I was thinking was just slow him down. There was only 5 seconds left, because when he gets a full head of steam, it's pretty tough to stop him. But I just lost my foot in. I was like, I just got to eat this and go to the ground. So AG picked me up, though. Appreciate him for that.
Johnny, first off, how's your daughter doing?
She's good.
That's good.
She's in the family room, and I'm going to go see her after this.
Perfect. I asked Coach, but you would know better than him. 20 points, congratulations on the career high. When was that mentality shift for you? Where it's like, okay, I know I'm ready?
I would say whenever they call on me, whenever the opportunity is given, just always got to stay ready. But I'd probably say that mentality that I got kind of just happened after All-Star break. I went home, kind of hit the reset button a little bit, got to see my family, friends, clear my mind, and then when I came back, I was just a whole different player.
Another one for you is, can you just tell people the importance of the NBA G League? A lot of people have asked about you, said you took it as a professional, but can you just give people an inside track of why the G League is just so important?
Yeah, people discourage the G League a little bit. Like, to me, it's the second best league in the world, right behind the NBA.
Right.
And I took it as an opportunity to develop. People think, I got drafted by the Wizards going down to the G League. Oh, that's regression, but it helped me a lot, as you can see. The NBA G League is, it's not for everybody. It's definitely a very tough league, and it definitely allowed me to kind of, grow into the player I am.
Is that something that you knew right away, or did it take actually being down there to kind of realize that?
It took being down there. I'm going down there thinking, it's the G League. Guys are not as talented, not as skilled, but they just. There's a lot of ex-NBA guys in the G League, still trying to work their way back up. So it took me a while to kind of adjust and figure it out. But once I did, I just kind of got in a rhythm and never looked back.